This lesson is on combining like terms. We're also going to find out what like terms are. All right, so what are like terms? Like terms have the same variable part or parts. In other words, they have the same letter combination. The numbers don't mean anything. The letter combinations determine if terms are like or alike. So a mathematical term would be if we said 5 plus x. 5 is a term. X is a term. Okay? So terms are like terms. They're called like terms if they have the same letter combination. So A and 2A are like terms. 4B and 9B are like terms because they have the same letter combination. 4 and 3 are like terms because they don't have letters. Negative 5R and 9R are like terms. They have the same letter combination. So whether it's positive or negative, whatever the number is, it means nothing when it comes to like terms. You're looking at the letter combination. Here we have 8AB and AB. They are like terms because they have the same letter combination. Now 5 and X are not like terms. If 5 had an X beside it, then these two would be like terms because 5X and X would be like terms. What if this had a 3? Well, 5X and 3X, they are like terms. If we just have 5 plus X, though, they are not like terms because there's no X here. 5B and 5X are not like terms. They have different letter combinations. Even though the number is the same, the letter combination is different. Here we have a B, here we have an X. So they are not like terms. They have to have the same variable part or parts. All right, now we're going to group these like terms together. We're given all these different mathematical terms. We have to figure out which ones are alike. So I'm going to start with X, negative X here. And which one would be a like term? Well, we have a 6X. That would be a like term. We also have a negative 8X. So that is also a like term. All right, so now we have Y. Let's see if is there anything that is a like term with Y. None of the other terms have a Y in them. So Y is by itself. Now we have negative 8. Are there any other numbers with no letters? Nope, they all have letters, so it's by itself too. Now we have negative 8Z. I always put a little line there for my Z so it doesn't look like a 2. So Z, this is the only one with a Z in it, so it has no other partners. The only ones that are like terms are those with X's because they have the same letter combination. All right, here's another group of terms. We have, let's just start at the beginning, negative 10. Is there anything that looks like negative 10? All of the other terms here have letters to them, so there's no terms that are like negative 10. Let's do 4xy. Now we're looking at the xy part. Is there anything else that has an xy? Here's an xy. Let's go ahead and put that down, xy. This would be assumed to be 1xy. So we've taken care of our xy's. Now we have 4y. 3y is like, they're like terms. We have 5y, and we have negative 10y. These are all like terms because they have the same letter combination. 4xy and xy are like terms. They have the same letter combination. Now if we have 4x and 4xy, these are not like terms because this one doesn't have a y with it. They have to have the same exact letter combination. When you hear the phrase combining like terms, what it means is that you can add like terms together. So here we have 4a. We want to figure out which terms are alike. So what I like to do, I like to use highlighters to highlight the like terms. If you don't have highlighters, you can always circle or put a square around or put a triangle around different like terms. So I marked 4A and A with both yellow because they are like terms. I'm going to do B in this purple color. And there are no other B's, so nothing else gets colored purple. I have 1 and 1 colored green because they are like terms. Neither one of them have a letter combination, so they are like terms. Now, whenever you are simplifying an expression or an equation, you can combine like terms. That means that you can add 4A to A. So if we have 4 A's and we add another A, that means we have 5 A's. 4 A's plus an A gives us 5 A's. Plus negative 2B. There's nothing that I can add on or subtract from this term because there's nothing else with a B in it. Plus 2. I can add 1 plus 1 because they are like terms. So when you're simplifying expressions, this is your final answer here, by the way. When you're simplifying expressions, you have to make sure that you are only combining like terms. Like you can't say negative 5A plus B is equal to negative 5AB. That is not true. No, no. Don't do that. You cannot add these two together. You can only add like terms together. And again, this is your final answer here. So your answers are going to look a little strange. You're not going to come up with this one solid answer that's one number. You're going to have variables in your answer, and you can't solve that any further. So that's all the further you can go. All right, so whenever you are going to simplify an equation or an expression, you want to go ahead and highlight your like terms. So you have negative x. Here's an x term. We have plus 6x. Here's another x term, minus 8x. And there are no other x's. So now I'm going to look at my y's. I have a plus y. There are no other y's. There's nothing that I'm going to be adding to that y. Minus an 8. And there are no other numbers that have no letters, so I'm going to highlight the last one in blue. And there are no other z's, so I only have one purple because there's no other y's. I only have one green and one blue. So that means that I can add together all of these x's. Basically, how many x's do I have left? I have negative 1 x's plus 6 x's minus 8 x's. What do I have after that? I'm going to end up with negative 3 x's. Negative 1 plus 6 minus 8 is negative 3, so I have negative 3 x's. I'm going to go ahead and cross those off, telling myself, well, I've already used those. Now I'm going to add on the rest. Plus y minus 8z. There's nothing that I can add to this y or this 8 or this 8z because they have no like terms. All right, so their problems are getting longer now. We're going to first identify our like terms. Here's our plain numbers with no letter combinations. And I don't see any other plain numbers. Everything else has a letter to it. So now I'm going to look at xy's. I have plus 4xy. And then I have another plus xy down here. There are no other xy's. I have negative 4y. Or no, plus 4y plus 3y. Plus 5y minus 10y. Now that I have all of my like terms identified, now I can go ahead and start adding all of those terms together. So I have a negative 10, and there's nothing that I can add or subtract from that negative 10 because everything else has a letter with it, so it has no like terms. I have 4xy and an xy. They are like terms. They have the same letter combination. So I'm going to add 4xy's to 1xy's. Remember, if there's not a number in front of it, it's assumed to be a 1. So now I have 5xy's. And now I have to figure out how many y's do I have left. How many y's will I have? I have 4 plus 3 plus 5 minus 10. You got to look at that operational sign in front of it. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 5 is 12, minus 10 is 2. So I have 2 y's left, and this would be my final answer.